It feels like absolutely ages since I last bought a new houseplant. In reality, it's only been less than a month, I think, and yeah, I'm just feeling the itch to buy a new plant. So instead of actually buying plants, I thought I would have a little look at some plants that I would quite like to get. And I've actually found that my tastes have changed quite a lot over the last 12 months. Some of the plants that I thought I wanted at the start of the year have completely changed, and yeah, I've kind of just got to know what kind of plants I like and don't like a little bit more this year. So I'm just going to share with you some of the plants that I would really love to add to my collection, and these are the ones that I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for whenever I go plant shopping next. It's kind of nice to have a bit of an idea about what I might like so that I don't just buy all kinds of plants. I feel like maybe I'll buy less plants if I have a plan. So the first one is the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and the reason I love this one is because it kind of looks a bit Monstera-like. In fact, it's even nicknamed the mini Monstera, even though it's not actually related to the Monstera, but because of the shapes of the leaves, it's got that nickname. But I kind of like this because it's got smaller leaves and it's a little bit more compact than Monstera deliciosa, and it will grow in a different way. And I'm not a huge fan really anymore of the classic Monstera deliciosa, but this one is sort of a plant that I can get on board with. I love how it looks when it's trailing. I also love how it looks when it's growing upwards, and I think it's just much more of a manageable plant for me. It's going to take up far less space, and yeah, I don't know, there's just something about it that I really like. It's got more of a sort of a compactful look to it. I just really like to try one of these, and I've also heard from people that have these that they are quite fast growing too, and if you've been on my channel before, you'll know that I love fast growing plants because yeah, it just brings me joy to see lots of progress in the growth of my plants. And then this next one is the Alocasia Jacqueline, and I've really fancied this one for quite some time. I do believe that it is very prone to spider mites because I think it's quite hairy on the surface from what I've seen of the pictures and things. But there's just something about this one. It's so weird, it's so alien-like that I just really want to give it a go anyway. And you know, I do get spider mites on my other alocasias too, and you know, it's just one of those things with alocasias, isn't it? So I think I can handle it with this one. I will just have to keep it separate. I do tend to keep most of my alocasias kind of separate from my other plants, but you know, I don't want to let fear of spider mites prevent me from getting a plant that I like. And this one is just so weird that I just absolutely have to give it a go. I will say that I've only really seen it online. I've never seen it in the garden centre ever, and it does tend to be quite expensive online, and I'm a little bit worried about buying alocasias online because they have to make that journey through the post and they can be a little bit finicky. So I didn't really want to order it online. I wanted to buy it in person if possible. So I'm holding out for when I see one in the garden centre. Next is the Philodendron mayoi, and this is kind of, I suppose, got a similar shaped leaf to the Alocasia Jacqueline, but it's, yeah, I'm just really into kind of frond-like plants at the moment, if that's the right word. For some reason, this leaf shape is really kind of speaking to me, but this one just looks really cool, and I am a huge fan of philodendrons. I just absolutely love them. And this is one that I have been kind of eyeing up now for quite a number of months. I keep looking at it on online shopping sites, and sometimes I'll add it to my basket and then I just don't buy it. But I'm just hoping that maybe I'll see it in person because I don't really want to shop online. I'd prefer to buy it in person because I get to choose the plant that I like and make sure that it's all okay before I buy it. But yeah, this is definitely one that I have my eye on. It is so pretty and very elegant and very different to the other philodendrons that I've got or seen. It's got a kind of a different look to it, so I find it very interesting. So yeah, I will definitely be keeping my eye out for this one. And then the next one is another philodendron, but a little bit of a different one. This is a philodendron micans, and yeah, I just love how it looks to me like when the leaves first come out they're a bit pink, or not sure whether it's when they first come out or whether it's the backs of the leaves that are pink, but I see pink in it and I just really think it looks really elegant. It kind of looks like it might have velvety leaves to me. If anyone's got one, let me know if it does have velvety leaves. It does look very velvety. It also looks like it's got some nice kind of autumn colours. So at the moment I'm kind of looking to be all cosy and autumny, so definitely this one looks like my kind of thing. It just looks like it has some really cool kind of colour tinges to it, and yeah, I don't know if I've seen this one in garden centres before. I may have seen it once or twice, but I wasn't really kind of looking for it, but now I'm looking for it. If I was to see like a fairly small plant, I'd probably get one and then just grow it at home, because it looks like a fast grower, a bit like the Philodendron Brazil. I don't know if that's the case, but it looks like a similar sort of growing pattern. So yeah. Next is a plant that I've had my eye on for quite some time. It is the Ficus scheveriana moonshine, and this is a rubber plant. I have actually seen these from time to time when I've been out shopping, but they've been very small plants and I want a bigger plant. The trouble with the small babies is they have a harder time making it, and yeah, they just take longer to get going. So I've been keeping my eye out for a bigger plant. I'm definitely going to hold out for a bigger plant. Also, hopefully the prices might come down a little bit because they are quite expensive, but the variegation on these is just so stunning that I absolutely have to add one to my collection at some point. And it is a rubber plant, so presumably it's going to be just as easy to care for as all the other rubber plants. But yeah, this one has just got something about it. It's absolutely stunning, and yeah, I'm just biding my time for the right size at the right price. And next is another philodendron that I've absolutely had my eye on for ages. I just think this is an absolutely gorgeous plant. It is the Philodendron Painted Lady, and it has those amazing red petioles, and the variegation is kind of like a beautiful green and marmalade colour, and it's just a really pretty plant. Definitely would get this one growing up a pole for sure, but yeah, this looks like one of the best philodendrons I've seen basically, and I've not seen any of these in the garden centres anywhere. So again, I'm just kind of waiting for my opportunity to pounce. Hopefully the right one will come up at the right time. I've learned not to just get a plant because it's cheap or because I see it. It has to be the right one, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't want a tiny baby that's overpriced. I've done that before. I've seen a plant that I really want and I bought it because it was just there and it wasn't really the right plant for me, and it didn't make it because it was too small or something like that. And that's happened to me loads of times, so now I just wait until the exact right one comes around, because if it's meant to be, it will happen. That's the way I look at it. And then next is one that I did have very briefly. It's the Syngonium albo, and I do actually still have a tiny little piece of it that I'm trying to grow, that I'm trying to propagate, and it hasn't actually died yet, but it's so small and so delicate that I don't know if it will make it. So I do still have my eye out for a proper one of these, what I would consider a proper one. Yeah, unfortunately, it was a bit of a disaster when I bought this one the first time round. I bought it online, but I've just still got such a hankering for this plant. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I've got to have one of these. It's just so beautiful. And I hear that once it gets going and once the plant is established, it is actually a really easy plant. So, and a fast grower too, and easy to propagate. So I just love to get to the point where I have a good base plant where I can do lots of propagating. And yeah, this is a plant that I really want to add to my collection at some point. whenever I see pictures of it, occasionally I'll look it up on Instagram and I just think, wow, I really need you. Next is another philodendron. I'm obsessed with philodendrons, it seems. It is the philodendron Jose Buono. And again, this has got stunning variegation. Absolutely love the shape of the leaves on this one. I love the variegation. I just love how it grows and how it looks. And this is quite an expensive plant if you buy a big one, and I do want a big one because I've said before I don't like buying the little babies that just have a hard time making it. So I'm really waiting to get a really nice plant, a good size, a good well-established one, and they are quite expensive. In addition to that, I've never actually seen one of these in a garden centre. I've only seen them online, so I'm just hoping that at some point one will turn up at the right time again. But yeah, really do love this one. It has everything I would want from a philodendron. Next is another Syngonium, and this is the Syngonium aurea, and I'm a bit of a sucker for punishment here with the Syngoniums because they do tend to get a lot of pest problems. I think some of you have mentioned that too. And even so, I'm still not put off by them. I don't know, I just love Syngoniums, and you know, they're prone to getting thrips, they're prone to getting spider mites. At the moment, I'm still battling all sorts of pests on my Syngoniums, but they are worth it. And the Syngonium aurea is similar to the Syngonium alba, but it has more of a yellow variegation instead of the white. But I just think it's stunning, and yeah, again, I'd love to have this one in my collection, I really would. So the minute I see one of these, the right size, the right price, I will be buying it. And that's really the key for me when buying plants. I don't just want to collect a plant for the sake of collecting it. So I don't just want to have lots of like little tiny babies just to say I've got that plant. I want the plant that is at the right stage, is at the right size, and I want to be able to grow it how I want to grow it, if you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. I don't just want like a shelf full of, you know, one leaf babies of all the plants I want, just to say I have them. It's important to me that I get the right plant that I know that I can enjoy growing, if that makes sense. So yeah. And so that is going to be it for my kind of ultimate wish list for today. I'm sure there are loads more that I could add to the list, but these ones are really ones that stand out to me that I'm definitely keeping my eyes out for. So I'm really excited to go plant shopping again. Like I say, I think it's been less than a month since I last went, maybe about a month, and it just feels like it's been more like 3 months. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I'm just really in the mood for some plant shopping. I have to go and look at some plants. I'm getting the itch, you know, when you get the itch. And I think also because it's winter at the moment, well, it's autumn, and the temperature is cooled down. There's a little bit less work to do in autumn, winter, and I find myself feeling like I can take on some more plants. I'll probably regret it come spring, summer, but at the moment I feel like, yes, I could make some more space. I've got some spaces I see around that I could fit some new plants in. So thanks for watching today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Do feel free to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.